Liz, what about you?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like the thing that comes to my mind is too corny. It's so
A
corny.
Court of Thorn and Roses? What is it?
Yeah. No, I mean, you're talking about texts that just sit with you and you feel like you can continue to like come back to, or you've not even, you feel like you feel compelled to come, like return to and like continue to like plumb the depths of. And for me, that's like Hamlet. Like I can never exhaust that text. That text will never be exhausted. And there is so much in there that, from every which angle, from every angle of every beat on every single pentameter is just, yeah, that's a text that I'm not prepared to even speak about, but is like very, very, very important to me, and was like a very, when you're talking about something that you read at that age, I think I was maybe it was more like 16, but was like very, very formative and influential in my kind of approach to reading, I guess is what you'd say.
There's nothing corny about that at all.
I mean, it's the best. It's legitimately the best.
Yeah.
It's
I just, yeah, I'm doing this editing project, and one of the essays that came in was was about Hamlet, and it looks at this guy who just did a whole essay on the first 7 lines of Hamlet.
Yeah.
Like just the first, and I was like, how much can you say about the first? But it was like,
stay
it was
illusion. There's so much you can say.
Yeah, it was amazing. It's just like, it slowed down. It's like, let's just like look at like, before it's just like the two like minor characters talking back and forth at the very beginning of the play. Whole essay, fascinating.
Yeah, there's so much there. My gosh. And it's like, then you have to get into all the interpretations of the play, which is even better. Is that everyone
and like rewritings,
Yes.
Like Ulysses is in some ways like
my favorite. I think maybe I've mentioned this on the show, but my favorite is that Brecht has like, he did 2 radio plays before he left Berlin, and one was Macbeth and one was Hamlet, and they were not, the one of Hamlet didn't survive, but from what people have like written about what it was, his interpretation was that he basically like, he said that the tragedy in Hamlet wasn't, I mean, the classic thing is, that the tragedy is that he cannot act, right? He's like so consumed. He just, where he tries to, he just, goes to act and he can't, he stops and he thinks, and he's this sort of like pause. And Brecht like flips that and he says like, no, like that's the tragedy is when he falls back into action, when he falls back into the, kind of feudal family mode. Like he was there about to break it, and then Fortinbras' army comes and he decides to act, and he says that's the tragedy there. And so Brecht, in his interpretation of Hamlet and in his radio play, like inserted lines, and I love that. That's the best, is when people kind of like come in and make that text their own. And where he was like, oh, and now there has been an agreement and the war is over. And like, so it had totally changed this play and stopped Hamlet from kind of coming in and claiming there's no I, Hamlet the Dane. He doesn't take the father's name. He doesn't kind of assume the role of king. And the entire sort of, the next stages of history change.
That's amazing.